So the first question you should have for me, and what I'm going to attempt to answer for you all today here is, what is a Trump stock and why does that have any kind of meaning for you? Trump is a person that can talk about a stock and make the stock move. We've seen this in the past. He's got a lot of influence in the stock market. When he kind of waves his hand and mentions a stock, that stock, people tend to buy it. And it tends to have fluctuation in prices up and down. He's not the only person with this type of power. You can see Elon Musk has had this kind of result with Dogecoin back when he went on SNL Live. If you don't know about what kind of popped as a bubble to Dogecoin, you can go back and research, how much Elon Musk was pretty much talking about Dogecoin every day on his Twitter. And Donald Trump does something extremely similar. And I've seen a number of, we call them Trump pumps, but they're really just stocks that are going to move either when Donald Trump is talking about them or, when Donald Trump is in the news, specifically correlated to that stock. So it's not active right now, but the first time that I ever saw this unique phenomenon happen was with a company called Workhorse. I don't exactly remember the exact details of the deal, but this is back when Trump was originally running for office back in 2020, I believe. And we had this crazy run out of Workhorse because there was some kind of deal going on with Trump. And I remember it kind of starting its move and not really taking into consideration. And then, a couple weeks later, I'm looking at a stock that's up hundreds of percentage points. Now, of course, this doesn't happen every time, but when Trump starts talking about a stock, it kind of has this effect. That's not the only one I've seen throughout my career. We've also seen Kodak. So KODK, this was another Trump pump where, again, I don't remember the exact details, but Trump had mentioned Kodak and something with the warehouses and stuff like that. And all of a sudden in 1 week, Kodak goes from like $2 all the way to 60. So a Trump pump. Now we have a different kind of Trump pump going on right now. And I think it's super interesting because it's timely, right? What do we have coming up? Well, right now it's October 28th, 2024. The election is in 1 week. So what is going on in the stock market? What is moving in my world specifically? Well, it's going to be electoral stocks that are running in sympathy to Donald Trump. Now I say electoral stocks. They're not like election stocks, but they are running because the election is happening and that they are correlated to Donald Trump. So the first one's going to be DJT. Now this used to be DWAC. They changed the name to Donald J. Trump, which is what you're seeing on my screen right now. This has been on quite the tear as of recent. So this stock has been very volatile in the past. It's a stock that if you're a day trader, you probably know it quite well. If you're retail, you maybe know about it. It's not necessarily a good company, at least in my completely subjective opinion. That doesn't mean it can't go up. That doesn't mean it can't go down. That's just my opinion. I've seen DWAC. I've seen it go from $9 all the way to $175 in less than a week. Traders also remember that. This has been a volatile ticker, and we also saw it run most recently during the primaries, I believe. And now fast forward to the month before election, and this stock has gone from $15 all the way to $47. Right now in the after hours, it's touching 50. So an incredible multi-100% gain. What I think I like the most about this run up is this volume here. It's clearly telling me that something, someone, some presence is there. There is continued demand. My prediction is probably that there are people willing to buy this heading into the election. It's kind of like betting on Donald Trump. So I think that's why we're finding buyers at pretty much every single price and every single week. And I think that will probably continue to happen until the election, in which case we'll get some type of event where he either gets elected and then the stock will react, or he does not get elected and the stock will still react. Now, before we get into reaction, what the stock could possibly do, it's not just Donald J. Trump that is running. There are sympathy plays. So if you're familiar with small cap as a whole, generally when you have one runner, sometimes there's another runner that tags along with it. In this case, I remember back when, you'll see it right here on the chart, when DJT went from 10 to 175, it brought this cute little stock called Funware with it, and Funware went from, now they've done reverse splits, so it's kind of hard to even imagine the magnitude of this move, but it went from reverse split adjusted 542 all the way to 27,500 in just, a matter of days. This was a sympathy play. It kind of ran with Trump back then, and I don't remember exactly the catalyst. I mean, this is like a Bitcoin company or something mining company. It has nothing to do with DJT, which is Truth Social. It's just a weird phenomenon that happens within, our markets. Maybe there's a more correlated reason that I just don't know. But you can see even most recently, this stock has been on quite the tear in October, right? Again, like DJT is moving, now Fun is moving, and it's brought in some really nice price action and some chart patterns that us in the Clover Trading Room have been able to trade. If you guys know anything about my bread and butter setup, this first red day right here is an absolutely incredible first red day. I know Kyle Williams was able to absolutely nail this. Even a nice breakout over here. So again, once we have this catalyst, this forward-looking catalyst, we get some volume into the stock, and then all of a sudden we have some patterns that start to react fairly well. So fun, DJT, definitely 2 stocks I'm watching into the election. I'm really curious about, what kind of results do we get from the election. It's not something that I'm swinging into the election, although I totally see the thesis there, especially if someone got a good price. It's kind of a situation where I want to be short biased, but I don't want to underestimate the news. So what do I mean by that? I mean, as a totality, I don't think Truth Social, the company, is a very widespread used company. I don't think they're making a lot of money. Again, maybe you can prove me wrong, and please do. It's just really a subjective analysis. I just don't think that it's going to, let's just say this. Let's say Trump wins and the stock gaps up from, the stock's 50. So let's say it just kind of does what it did before, which was gap from 50 to 80. I think at that market cap, we're going to start to really fundamentally be out of shape. That doesn't mean it can't go higher. Again, this is completely running on hype. I do think there's a point where gravity eventually will take effect and we'll come more to an equilibrium price. But in the meantime, this thing can actually spike quite well. So I don't really want to underestimate it. I'm looking for some type of sell the news event to kind of shift my bias from bullish to more bearish, see where it's at in a week type conversation. Either way, it's going to be interesting to see where DJT and PHUN land. Exciting times in the small cap world when we have strong stocks like this, trading big volume, a serious catalyst as a sector. A lot of money can be made long and short. It's just about kind of knowing the patterns from there. So now you guys know that they exist, and that is step 1. And then step 2 is learning how to plan a trade and micromanage, right? So hopefully they get more volatile. Hopefully there's more fun things to come, and we have a good trading season with these 2 stocks. That's it from me, guys, and we'll see you guys for the next YouTube and on Good Morning Nasdaq every morning at 8:45 a.m. See ya.